As an ophthalmologist, I was trained to diagnose ocular disease and then treat it medically or surgically. And if I was unable to do that, the next step is to make sure I directed the patient to get help from other agencies. So it's very easy for me to, here in our community, because of CABVI, have the ability to say to a patient, it's time to get extra help.
CABVI's mission is to provide opportunities for people who are visually impaired in our community, whether it's due to age-related eye diseases like macular degeneration or cataracts, or it may be someone who has a family member that has some difficulty with their vision and knows that that vision is going to change. And I think that's why it's so important that people know about the services that are available at CABVI.
To me, it's our obligation to direct the patient, because patients sometimes aren't aware, are afraid, and don't seek help without a doctor's advice.
It's so reassuring to have an organization like CABVI in town. I like to tell my patients I'm sending them to a world-class organization right down the road who will know how to take care of you and make the most of the vision you have. And they are very good at it.
I was referred to CABVI by Dr. Gale because I started tripping and falling and walking into things, and I was having a hard time driving at night. And I'm very grateful that he actually told me about CABVI and their services, and that's when I reached out and made a phone call.
When I meet a patient for the first time, one of their big complaints is they can't read the newspaper or they can't read their mail. And they're coming to CABVI for low vision services, whether it's training on how to complete activities independently in your home, or how to safely cross the street, or how to use a magnifier.
The first time I discovered CABVI was 32 years ago. Some of the services that I found really useful were when people would come into the home and they would help me use the stove in a fashion that I could use as a visually impaired person. And as I got older and went into college, they used adaptive technology which helped me read, and a funny thing happened along the way. I started to feel better. I started to feel confident, so it started to affect me emotionally. And then that spread out into other areas of my life. And then it just became a point where CABVI was an extension of who I am as a person, a reflection of what I believe. And now I am the social worker here at CABVI.
It is very comforting to have this resource, because I think a lot of times, especially with conditions like macular degeneration, vein occlusions, and diabetes, there reaches a point where I don't have anything more to offer them as a physician, and CABVI gives me something that I can offer them when I don't have any more medical treatments. So they are great adjuncts to our practice, and that is why we make referrals to CABVI as easy as possible.
Patients should be advised about an opportunity and then let CABVI take over and work with the patient and find out what they want, what their needs are, work with their family and other caregivers. And so one of my reasons for CABVI referrals is for help, for me as a professional and for my patients and their families.
So when I'm working with elderly people, one of the things they're really struggling with is they had a life of independence, and now they have to depend on people in a way that's different. So what we're going to do at CABVI is we're going to work with you to ensure that you feel safe and comfortable, and we're going to help you understand that you're going to be a critical part of the decisions that you make.
It may even come down to being able to talk to someone who is experienced with vision loss, and being able to know that you have someone to talk to that is going through those same types of things. I
actually became kind of dependent on getting transportation from other people. And I was afraid. I was afraid to walk down to a bus stop and get on a bus. So CABVI sent their mobility coach out to help me, and they showed me how to navigate by myself. One of the, I think, the most important things that gave me my independence, and I have to stress that, is independence, because now I don't have to rely too much on anybody to give me a ride. Now I have the ability to walk down to a bus stop, get on a city bus, and I can go anywhere I want in the city. And I'm not afraid to do that now. CABVI did that. Their services helped me gain my independence.
I think it's important to get patients to CABVI when they can benefit the most from additional services to help them become independent and go on with the life that they want to live. I think they do things here at CABVI that aren't available elsewhere.
What we offer at CABVI is different. It is holistic. You will not find this anyplace else in the community. We're able to address your low vision needs. We're able to address your mobility needs. We're able to address your vocational needs. And again, we're also there to help you adjust to the emotional side of vision loss. So we are uniquely positioned in this community to help people who are experiencing a lack of sight.
We refer people to CABVI at any stage of vision loss. But what I think is very important is you want to get them in early when they can really benefit the most from these services. So as soon as a patient complains of vision loss, I'll encourage them to see CABVI.
I think, like any disability, you learn better when you have some of your own residual capabilities still intact. So if you're doing orientation and mobility, if you have a little bit of vision, you can see the curb, you can kind of see the street, and get an understanding of your world. And then when your vision is more diminished, you may have mastered that a little bit better.
I think CABVI's given me a sense of hope that you can live with a visual impairment and still achieve what it is that you desire in life. And they've given me the skills and taught me how to integrate a lack of sight into a sighted world.
Getting started as soon as possible with CABVI services is very important. It's vital to anybody that's losing their vision. Don't wait. Pick up a phone and call CABVI. I'm glad I didn't wait. I'm not going to stop living my life because I'm losing my vision.